Friday, and it is December, and it is the holidays. See my tree? And I'm all dressed up because I actually have a bunch of holiday parties to go to tonight. So what I spent this morning doing is showing you how to make really cool apple hand pies for Christmas breakfast. And the key is cinnamon roll, refrigerated cinnamon roll dough. And if you get one tip from this video is, next time you're at the store and you're shopping for holiday stuff, get a bunch of refrigerated dough, like crescent dough, biscuit dough, cinnamon roll dough. You can roll it, you can twist it, you can fill it, you can do all kinds of things with it. And it's just good to have in the fridge. It lasts a kind of a long time. And you know, you're gonna have guests that might get snowed in. You might have drop-ins, dropping good cookies and gifts off. You wanna be able to bake something up really easy. And what I'm gonna show you today is apple hand pies using the cinnamon roll dough. So super easy, and I'm gonna talk even about other like kind of time cuts and tricks where, you know, I'm making a homemade apple filling, but I have some ideas on how you can even cut time, because I know, especially Christmas morning, it gets kind of crazy. So you don't really want to spend that much time in the kitchen. You want to spend time watching your kids open presents and visiting and hanging out and probably relaxing because you've been up all night wrapping presents. So I totally get it. Okay, first things first, let's macerate our apples. These are some kind of past their prime apples from orchard picking in October. And here's some other ones that were at the bottom of the crisper drawer. Mix it up, doesn't matter. Peel and do a small dice. Okay, I've got our apples in a small dice, and honestly, it's up to you how you want to dress these. I'm gonna keep it kind of basic. So I'm doing a sprinkling of some kosher salt. This is juice of half a lemon. Teaspoon of vanilla. Three-quarters of a teaspoon of cinnamon. And a quarter of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Do the apples first and let them sit for about 30 minutes. Toss this around. To this we need to add 3 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, let that break down and macerate for about 30 minutes. Okay, while our apples are finishing breaking down, we're going to set up our work area to roll out our cinnamon rolls. So if you have a kind of a dough board, I use my Silpat, lightly dust wherever you're working with some flour and grab your dough. This is just a basic cinnamon roll. Actually, I got these at Aldi, but any kind of brand will work. And you're going to get them out of the container. And I always think, honestly, this is like gonna explode in my face every time. All right, take the icing pack out. It's up to you if you want to use it on top later. But get your rolls out. And using a serrated knife, we're going to very carefully cut them horizontally down the middle. Like so. Sprinkle with some flour. Sprinkle your rolling pin with some flour. And you're going to gently roll these out. If they start to unwind a little, just use your fingers to press them together and get a little bit more flour on them so they don't stick, and do that for you. There you go. you're looking for about 1/8 of an inch thick. Continue with all your rolls and have them ready when it's time to fill them. Okay, while you finish your apples, you don't want these to dry out, so set some plastic wrap. All right, we're on our stove top. Our apples have been sitting. Depending on how ripe your apples are, and the kind of apples, you know, you're gonna get either more juice or less juice, but you're looking for some of that juice to be released in those apples. So now it's time to cook them down with some butter in a saucepan. This is 3 tablespoons of butter. Depending on your yield, you might want to do just 2. Some of my Golden Delicious were kind of large, so I'm going with 3. Now you're on a medium heat. Careful, because butter does brown quickly. You know, another variation on this as we're melting our butter is you can actually do a brown butter, caramelize it a little bit, you get that toasty, nutty flavor. That could be another variation on these apples. Okay, that might look like a lot of butter for you, but I'm getting a syrup. I'm looking for some syrupy juiciness, and butter's gonna help that too. Get all that good stuff in there and toss your apples around in that butter. Get your heat on high a little bit, like a medium high now. And you want to cook down your apples till they're soft and they're syrupy. So I'm gonna give this about 5 minutes. Check it. All right, so it's been 5 minutes, and already, like, my Golden Delicious is definitely breaking down pretty nicely. I want it to break down just a little bit more, so I'm going to just put the cover on it for just about 3 minutes. And I'm gonna lower the heat just a touch and set my timer. I am also got my oven set at 350. Cinnamon rolls, you know, you don't cook according to the package because the dough is thicker, right? But we've thinned them down to make a pie, like a little hand pie. So they're not gonna take as long, and you don't want that high heat. So a little slower is good, so we're going to do this at 350. All right, it's been 3 minutes. Ooh, yeah, we got a little syrup going on. Yeah. Okay. You don't want applesauce, okay? You still want apple. But you definitely want it soft and syrupy and juicy. Okay. I think that took all of, you know, with the 3 minutes covered, 8 to 10 minutes, I guess, depending on your apples. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off, and I'm going to sprinkle in some cornstarch. I'm going with about a tablespoon. Give that a good stir. Okay, let's take it off the heat and bring it to the table. Okay, before we get to assembling these, 2 shortcuts. One, if you're thinking all that apple prep on Christmas morning is going to drive you crazy because you've got family and you got kids running around wanting to open presents, no big deal. 2 things. One, you can make this a week before, 3 months before. You can freeze it. You can have it a week before, maybe not a week, but maybe like 3 days. Keep it in the fridge. If you freeze it, pull it out the night before, Christmas Eve, put it in the fridge, let it slowly defrost. Come morning, it's ready to go. So that's one thing. The second thing is you can totally skip all that and buy some apple pie filling. Boom. So if you really need a shortcut, and I understand, just go with the apple pie filling and call it a day. Anyway, I like to try at least do some things from scratch. So even if it means, you know, doing things ahead of time and freezing, that's kind of my jam. Okay, so here's some cream, which we're going to use to crimp and also to brush the tops. And at this point, it's super, super easy. You're going to grab a spoonful and fill one of the bottoms. I have a fork here to crimp, so I'm grabbing a spoonful, and it's about a tablespoonful. I'm taking my finger and I'm brushing cream. Hey, if you don't have cream, milk is fine, by the way. And top it. Crimp. Now, I've got a baking sheet with parchment paper. Gently pull up. Place on top. And that's Moon, who suddenly has, okay, take two. And there they are. You set it on here and avoid cat. Hey, you know better. She's gotten obsessed with milk this month, so she's smelling the cream. Get down, down. Oh, she's so naughty. There she goes. Okay, sorry about that. Moon makes a guest appearance, as always. Okay, so continue filling. And if things are getting sticky, dust with flour. And that tick-tock is, that little ticking noise, that's the oven going up to 350. Oh, there it is. Okay, there they are. So it makes about, you know, obviously we're just cutting the cinnamon rolls in half, so that's how many you get. 8. The apples that we made, I have extra. So these apples could easily make 16. So if you have a lot of guests on Christmas morning, definitely get 2 packages of cinnamon rolls and you'll be fine. What am I going to do with the rest of this apple stuff? I'm just going to store it in the fridge because, you know, I always have refrigerated dough. I always have people coming over. Apple filling could be used for lots of things, including even just pancake toppings. So don't throw anything away, especially when it comes to food. So before I pop these in the oven, I've got a pastry brush. I've got this leftover cream, and I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of cream on top. All right, so we're going to, you know, I'm going to guesstimate this. I'm going to check on them in about 7 minutes and maybe rotate the pan. All right, all in all, about 15 minutes. I did about 7 minutes in the middle, then I popped it up to the top where it could brown. You know, the tops can brown nicely. So they're set. I'm going to let them sit on the tray for a couple minutes before I transfer them over. It's up to you if you want to serve them warm, or they can even be served at room temperature. You could have these out, you know, all morning while everyone's running around and opening presents. You know, this could be something that, you know, the kids could just grab with their hand and run around and just give them a napkin and make sure they don't make a mess. So anyway, if you are curious on seeing one of these open, let me, you know, it just came out of the oven, so they're kind of hot, but there you go. Nice appley filling. It's too hot, I'm not going to eat it, but you get the gist. Now, It's up to you if you want prettier tops. That sanding sugar is an idea. You've also saved your glaze from the cinnamon roll package. You could drizzle a little glaze on here. I think that's just a lot of sugar. I don't think you need it. I like the rustic look of these. So that's just me. It's up to you. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to be uploading a lot of holiday fun. I have a lot of craft projects I'm trying to get done for Christmas. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of those journeys with you. And including the next project is Springerly. You have Springerly on my channel, but it's using American baking powder. This new episode is going to be using hartshorn and seeing the difference between hartshorn and baking powder. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Anyway, have fun planning for the holidays. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love to you all. See you next time.